So hello and welcome my friends. I am your Sandeep sir and you are watching MLT tutorial by Sandeep sir. So friends, today we are going to discuss about the many things like all about the clinical laboratory tests. So before we go to that, we just exercise about the kitchen. That in our world, our world's kitchen is our plants. Our plant kingdom is the first kitchen of the world, of this world, because the plant can only produce food for us and for also itself. So by using the gaseous elements, by water and by sunlight. So after that, among the animals, the human is the first type of animal who can cook their raw food form into a cooked form, that is raw material converted into a cooked form, that is the human can only do that things. So about this kitchen I just correlate with my today's studies. So the kitchen, about the kitchen, just to imagine about the some special dish like tandoor paneer or tandoor chicken, whatever you want to imagine, you can imagine. And just we are going to start about this tandoor chicken and tandoor paneer. So this video is for DMLT, BMLT, BSMLT, BVOC MLT, BMLS, all of the students. And apart from this students group, there are a huge population, huge interested person who are interested in the clinical laboratory test systems, so they can also watch this video. So friends, kindly subscribe this channel and share these videos to your friends. So just imagine about the food. That is we decided all together, you and your family decided to make today a chicken tandoor or paneer tandoor. So the paneer tandoor or whatever chicken tandoor, the main concept is the alteration of the cuisine system. That is the normal in our daily life. Our cuisine system are all related with Indian and our subcontinent cuisine system. So apart from this cuisine system, there is another, this is also our subcontinent cuisine system, that is the tandoor system. So tandoor here is the main basic concept. So tandoor is the method of a test or the principles of a test. So the method or the principles of a test is the basic principle that on what the test is depends. If I study the blood picture under the microscope, then it is the method of microscopy. If I going to evaluate some values of your blood, that is a particular value, that is a different thing. That is by photometer, that is the photometer again is the method. That is the photometer is the measurement of the particular substance by using light. Like that, by using light, there are many methods of estimations, like flow cytometry is there, nephelometry is there, refractometry is there. So these chapters I will discuss along with as long your study will run, I will all the subjects I shall discuss about that. But today I am going to clear you about the methods. So these are the methods, whatever it is microscopy, whatever it is photometry, these are the methods. So along with method, we have to select my apparatus. Apparatus like in your kitchen, when you are going to make a tandoor, you first you need a big type of forceps, and there are many different kinds of spoons and forks like that. So these are the tools, that is the apparatus. And next is the machine. Machine is that when you are going to make tandoor preparation, then you have to need a tandoor that is made up with earthy materials like that is the big earthy materials, muddy materials jar, or in your gas stove if there is tandoor system is available, or in your micro oven where grill system is available. So the main concept is the tandoor is the method, and for that my machine is the tandoor part. So tandoor part is my machine, and my apparatus, that is the tools, are the forks, forceps, and different types of spoons. These are my apparatus. Now before you going to start any test, I have to confirm the QC, that is the quality control. So when you make this type of dish for, and all together you are going to make that for a gala party today in your home. So the quality is the primary foremost thing, that is the salt should be at par, and and all the sweet part is also maintained, and all these parts should be maintained. This is the quality control. Like in our laboratory, before we going to run a test, so say today in the morning when my friends are collecting the bloods from the patients, myself or my other friends are going to my other colleagues, are running the quality control of the machine, that these tests are today we are going to perform, and the machine is giving the results as per the norms. This is the quality control procedure. So after that quality control procedure, we are going for the tests. So in the test there are many steps. This generally misconcept with the method. Method is the principle, but here is the procedure. That is the procedure is the steps of the test. Like your tandoor, that first you have to make the masalas, and you have to marinate the chicken or the paneer. Then you have to going for tandoor preparation. Like these steps in the laboratory, we need some test tube first, and then put their reagent, and after that adding sample there, and after incubation we are going to measure that. These are the steps of it, tests. Now after you make a test, you have get some results. These results, today we have discussed about these results. So these results may be in different mode. Later we will come in this matter, and after that, after getting result, we should not issue the report to the patient unless we interpret that result. We can interpret that result. What is the interpretation? That is should be correlated with the patient's symptoms, with the doctor's findings, or if it is others than that, then why should it happen? So this you have to study about that. About this interpretation we will discuss in my next video. So this interpretation is related with the change or altered condition of a patient. So now the magnitude of test result. Now when you get the results of a test, it may have many magnitudes. What are the magnitudes? Are the main magnitudes? Either it is descriptive or it give you a certain value. Now if it is descriptive, when it is descriptive, when under microscope you are going to study some blood cells. When you are going to study some blood cells under the microscope, you are studying about the size of the cells, their shapes of the cells, the altered conditions of the cells, the extra component in the cells. These should be in a descriptive manner. Or when your doctor are going to study a tissue from the biopsy or the autopsy material, that is autopsy come from the unnatural death and biopsy come from the normal, that is those patients undergone to the operation. So these materials, the tissue has to study by your doctor, and your physician after study, he will make a report in a descriptive manner. Here the values do not appear. No values are going to appear here. Now in the microscope there is also some values. If we count the cells, then it should be a definite value. If we measure your blood sample, if I measure your blood samples, the different components like bilirubin, like sugar, etc. things, then I should get a definite values. Now these values again divided into three parts. Some tests are qualitative, some are semi-quantitative, and some are definitely quantitative. Now what is qualitative? Qualitative test is like that, it is also a value for that, because the results, either it is positive result or it is negative result. But when we are going to make a report, we are going to write on a report, we should not write positive or we should not write negative. Now what we shall write? We shall write, instead of positive we shall write reactive, and instead of negative we shall write non-reactive. Now what is the purpose of that special words for that? The purpose is that if I going to test your blood for special type of like hepatitis B, if I write it positive, then it does denote you that you are bearing or you are having infection with hepatitis B. But when I am making a report that is in this type, that is reactive, it does means that your blood sample, whatever your blood sample, and my kit by which I have performed the test, so my kit and your blood sample make a reaction is there, but I am not confirmed that whether it is positive or not negative. So here if I write that negative or reactive or non-reactive word, then the laboratory personnel have no liabilities for that. If I going to write you positive or negative, like denoting you specially, then all the liabilities comes over me. So the positive result is the reactive results. Why it is so? Because whatever the sample, somebody say Mr. S. Kumar come to you, and you just taken the blood from him and tested the blood with your special manufacturing kits, and you get the result positive. But you are not confirmed that this S. Kumar is the this S. Kumar may be other S. Kumar. You have no proof about that. So for avoiding this type of discrepancies, we generally, instead of writing positive, we denote it as a reactive. And of course in negative cases, if I again write your report in a negative value, negative, that means that you don't have that disease, that hepatitis B type disease. Then when I write it is a non-reactive, then again it is proved that your sample and my kit, whatever I used for performing the test, is not reacted in between them. There is no reaction in between them. So these are the safest word for the laboratory personnel, that is the reactive and non-reactive. Now comes to the semi-quantitative estimation. Now the semi-quantitative values are like that. The semi-quantitative is that the first of all I do the test, I perform the test your qualitative manner. So if it comes positive in the laboratory, the positive negative language is right. But when you are making a report, you are delivering a report, there should be this word, reactive or non-reactive. So now after getting the result positive, I have to go to dilution. About this dilution, in the description you can find the chapter Fundamental Chemistry. There I have elaborately discussed about what type of dilution and how can we make the dilution of your samples. So the after getting the result positive, I have to perform the test in a dilution manner. So first of all, I dilute generally in a 1:2 manner. So if it is comes that 1:2 is positive, again after this with the original sample the test is positive, and after diluting 1:2 your result again is positive, then I have to perform 1:4 dilution with 1:4 dilution. If now this 1:2 your sample in a dilution of 1:4, if it is comes negative, then I should write the report in a manner like that, reactive up to 1:2. That is reactive up to 1:2 I shall write. Now, if your sample after dilution with 1:2 is positive, 1:4 is positive, then I have to dilute in 1:8 manner. If it is in a 1:8 manner is negative, then I am going to write you about the, it is reactive up to 1:4. Like that, this is a type of dilution, that is 1:2, 1:4, 1:8, 16, 32, 64, like that, 1 to 8. And the other type of dilution method is 1:80, like that, 1:160, like that, 1:320, 640, 1280, like that. So in different mode of methods, mode of dilution is applicable for different type of tests. Now again there is another semi-quantitative report, that is the 4, particularly this is resembles with the PSA test, that is the prostate specific antigen tests. Now the in the prostate specific antigen rapid test procedures, there is a one marker is like that, that is the reactive up to 4:10 nanogram per ml. That is means that the patient, in the patient blood there is the antigen is in an amount of 4 to 10 nanogram per ml of serum. That means that it is, I am not denoting that whether it is 4.1 or 9.9 or 4.2 or 9.5. I am not mentioning that. I am mentioning according to my manufacturer's guideline, that is the 4 to 10 nanogram per milliliter. Again in this test, the another marker is point of marking is that more than 10 nanogram per milliliter. It does not mean that your value is, your value may be 10.1 or is your value may be 100, your value may be 1000, but I am not writing in a manner because I am just following my manufacturer's guideline. The manufacturer's guideline is the manner is that it is greater than the value of 10 nanogram per milliliter of blood. So now the great question is that, the main question is that, then what is the purpose of this qualitative and semi-quantitative, where we are not getting the accurate value? Then what is the application of this test? Now this is the main application is that in our third world, like the countries, in the third world countries there is the poverty. So in the to keep in mind the poverty, there are different module of tests, because in a big city like Delhi, Bombay, Mumbai, Delhi, Mumbai or Chennai, big laboratories can invest much more for getting the accurate value, but in the suburbans, in the small cities, no investors are going to invest a large amount for getting the accurate value, that is the quantitative measurement. So the qualitative measurement and semi-quantitative measurements are for mainly the rural areas, the small cities, the small towns, and that is also a rapid application, rapid procedure to just estimate the patient, and by these tools also patient get that proper treatment also. So these tools are also very useful, and so these tools are still valid in our countries especially in the third world countries. So in the now the quantitative measurement, where I can get the accurate value. So what is the value? The value may be along with the unit, or value may be without unit. So value with unit, what may be the value of with unit is that the value of with unit is like that. If you suppose that you are going to test your plasma glucose level, that is commonly known as blood sugar, and you find that the result is that 110 milligram per dl. Dl does means that deciliter. So that these value is that 110, and with unit does means that the milligram per dl is that there is an unit. So what is that unit? That the milligram per deciliter. Deciliter does means that again you can see this in SI unit chapter. Deciliter means 100 ml. So what is the results means that your blood, in your 100 ml of blood, there is 110 milligram of glucose is present. This result is the most accurate form of results. Now there is another form of results, that is the values without unit. Now the values without unit again divided into two parts, that is the ratio system and the index system. Now the ratio system. Ratio system is that the first of all we have to estimate the albumin, that is the albumin is a type of protein and globulin is also a type of protein. These are the main protein constituents in your blood. So the albumin is measured. The albumin unit is gram per dl. So globulin is also measured, that is its unit is also gram per dl. So after that we try to get the ratio of that. So when we are getting the ratio, the unit is cancelled each one. So that we get that ratio, that is the 3:2. Now this is a complete number. It may be a fractional number, that is it may be 3.825 and is to 1.986, like that this value may also come. So this is very again confusing. So this is the older system of defining a ratio, that is the albumin is to globulin is 3:2. Nowadays again it is just divided like that. That is the 3:2 does means the 3/2. That means that if I divide 3/2, that is 1 to 1.0510. That is the 1.5. So 1.5 means that 1.5:1. But when we are writing a report, we just denote this number only, 1:5. And what message that is conveying to your physician or your doctor, that is your amount of albumin is 1.5 times of the globulin. So amount of your albumin present in your blood is 1.5 times greater than the globulin. So this message doctor can easily read. So nowadays this is converted into a single number. So this single number again is made it easy that to understand a ratio. Now comes to the index. The index is mainly a word is related like that. You also heard that the price index is there. This is mainly a commerce term, and in science mainly we use that factor, coefficient, like that. So index, what is the index now? Now index is a measurement against the normal. So measurement against the normal. So let that your blood sugar, blood glucose, plasma glucose is 110 milligram per dl. Now the again let that the normal level is that the 50 that is the 110, and the normal level is that 55 milligram per dl. So it is compared with the normal value. When we going to compare it with a normal value, then the final result will come like that, that is the 2. So your final value is that 2 is that your index. Now what message is conveying that? That your plasma glucose level is greater than the normal level. Now what is the greater? If any index value is less than 1, it does means that it is less than the normal value. If a number, whatever the result, if a number is greater than 1, that is more than 1 or greater than 1, does means that your value is higher than the normal. Higher than the normal here is clearly showing that it is 2 times higher than the normal. So ratio and index more or less is same matter, but here index it is compared with the normal, and in the ratio part we again compare it with the another component. So here is the main difference, that is the ratio and the index. So friends, in the next video we will going to discuss about the type of the tests and the interpretations, that is the change or altered condition. So until then, goodbye.